Hello, beautiful souls, and welcome. A bit lazy here. I've been in the river. Had a quick dip. You can hear it behind me. So anyway, it's a quick one. This I've mentioned a couple of times about this mass trespass that happened and why. I never mentioned why it happened or what the details of it are, and there's a couple of people that may be interested in it. And what happened up until this point in the 1930s, the common land or the moors, were only used by the aristocrats for grouse shooting and hare coursing and things like that. And the commoner, people like you and I, well, you may not be that's watching, you may be aristocratic, you may be, but for people like me, a commoner, that's classed as a commoner, we weren't allowed on the land. We weren't allowed on the common land that was land for the people and really theoretically owned by the people, not by these rich folks. And every time anybody went on there, they were reprimanded heavily. And I mean, it was the old stocks and things like that, and hands chopped off, put in prison, shipped off to Australia, things like that. It was until the 1930s when, would you believe, it was a communist group, a young communist group headed by a guy, and they arranged the mass trespass. Now, what they wanted to do was to say, hang on a minute, no, we can walk anywhere we like, it's common land. This needs to change. So we've got the Communist Party to actually thank for this, and most people don't know that. It's the Communist Party we've got to thank for this. And what happened, about 600 people, they started from up the road from Edale in a quarry, Howden Quarry, I think it was called, Howden Quarry. So they started there, and they had this mass trespass, all 600 of them, straight up Kinder Scout. Now, the gamekeepers didn't like this because commoners were on the land where the gamekeepers were raising grouse and things like that. So they didn't like it, so they got the police in, and the police came along, and shall we say as normal, the police took a strong hand, dragged people out, and there was five of them, including the guy who was leading it, that were arrested. They were arrested, yeah, and they were arrested for breach of the peace mainly. It was breach of the peace. So, because trespass has never been a criminal offence. Trespass is not a criminal offence; it's a civil offence. Trespass is a civil offence, but they couldn't trespass on land that wasn't owned by anybody. It was just the aristocrats that said this. So anyway, there was five of them arrested, and they went to prison. For 4 months, 3 months, and 2 months, with the five of them between them. And one was let off actually because there wasn't enough evidence to say that he had a breach of the peace. So this is what happened, and then from there, because of the imprisonment of these guys in 1932, so it was the 24th of April 1932 this happened, and because of this, the National's papers and things got hold of it and everything, so it went national, and people were in outrage over it. And this is what started the ball rolling to have rights of way, rights of access on all land, and the countryside law, the countryside code, the countryside law that was created because of this, that we now are able to walk through people's land legally and lawfully, whichever way you look at it, and we're able to walk through this land now, and these rights of way, these rights of access, have got to be maintained by the landowner. They've got to be maintained by the landowner, and if they don't maintain them, they can actually get fined. Then that can be seen as a criminal offence. It can be seen as a criminal offence for the landowner. Some say it's ridiculous. I don't, because I still believe that we have the right to roam anywhere, even off the rights of way paths. I believe, because I don't believe that anybody can actually own the land that we are born on. I won't explain all that in this, because this is just about the Kinder Scout. So that's what they did. 24th of April 1932, about 600 of them, they all got together, started off from a quarry, and they marched up Kinder Scout, and the police were called, the police were involved. There was skirmishes with the gamekeepers, none with the police. I don't think there was actually skirmishes with the police that I can find out, but there were skirmishes with the gamekeepers. But the actual way it happened, the paperwork that's there and the court paperwork that you can read show that the gamekeepers attacked the people that were walking up the hill. So it was a protest, a trespass. They called it a mass trespass. As I say, it can't be trespass on common land, really. It can't be. It's just that back then the aristocrats thought that they could get away with it. Well, they still do, don't they, really? Let's be honest. The rich, they can think they can do whatever they want. Not all of them. I'm not all of them. I haven't got anything against people that are rich. I haven't got anything against them. But back then, they did. So that's what it is. 24th of April 1932 kicked off the ball rolling, so you and I could walk across common land. So we could climb these mountains and climb these hills. We could go out into nature and walk around and walk on all these footpaths, and these footpaths are marked down on the All West maps and all other hiking maps, right the way throughout the country. Scotland is a different matter. Scotland brought a law in for the right to roam, so you can actually walk anywhere. It don't have to be on a footpath, and that's the way it ought to be in every single country in the world. And the majority of countries, that's where it's like. The majority of countries. Here, no, you got to fight for it. You got to fight for it. America, you got to fight for it. Australia, to a certain degree, in the outback, you can get you do it, but you're not meant to. New Zealand, nah. But most countries around the world, you've got the right to roam. Anyway, that's where it is. It's called the mass trespass. Have a look it up, and you can see all about it if you have a search for it. Don't have a search on that googly thing. Have a search on an independent thing, and it'll give you the truth. That's it for now. Be kind to yourselves, beautiful souls. Get yourself out on one of these right of ways, on one of these paths into the nature, and make the most of it, because I have a feeling that in time they're going to disappear. Make the most of them. Much love and many blessings to each and every one of you. Thank you very much.